You know my shit be hot to death. Staying alive, you're the only the strongest survive. Holding my heat under my seat, whipping the fire. Baseline for all of my people moving around. Give me your pound, all of my squad holding it down. Cutting you up, the new rocking you up, blowing you up. My black hole sucking you up. Back in the days, that rubber used to be down. Now my brother holding several money market accounts. Blaze the street, and then I would just like to announce. Feeling my groove, my jigger jigger, making you bounce. Others is fair, me and my squad breaking the bread. Stay getting it, we got you suckers holding your head. Afraid of us, you know this ain't the game to us. You strange to us, that's when we getting dangerous. Come on, this is serious. You should have a healthy fear of us. It's too much of us is dangerous. So dangerous, so dangerous.
Oh yeah, Sarah, how's it going?
I don't know if you can hear the music. It was a little quiet on my end.
Oh,
So
I can hear it.
It could be like weird performance art if I can't move my mouth. I guess I can. Oh, I guess I can move my mouth.
That's a little too freaky for me this early in the day, Sarah.
It is. It is. I know. I just woke up
I
myself.
mean, it's really cute. Like, I'll give you that.
I know, but I know. There are some that are great. I just want to sort of like hide the way I truly look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I love
I
these
can't
filters.
decide whether I need to go lighting or darkness right now. So you let me know if I'm too bright and shiny.
I think you look great. I just want to make sure I look like a puppy is really what I care about.
I mean,
So,
yeah, you my dog, you know?
that's Alan.
Woof
Perfect.
woof.
Perfect intro. Perfect intro. Alan, that's my dog. Alan, I'm so excited you're here. We will see. Maybe a few people will join. Maybe they won't. Either way, we'll cut this up. We'll make it interesting. So,
Cool.
congratulations on your book launch. How do you feel?
I feel great. I also feel like I need to figure out how to use IG Live again. No, it's been like a really fun couple of days. Definitely, it was like there were parts of it that I didn't really expect. So I'm like, I'm just not trying to like overreact to each moment, but today's been fun. I've been getting the text messages from the friends and the emails like popping in of people reviewing the book, and
That's
like
awesome.
that's just been like really like, oh, this is cool. Like this is very different from anything else that I've ever done.
Well, it's so interesting because when I started reading it, it occurred to me that like me because we've worked together as comedians and on creative work for a long time, and it was nice to see because a lot of like comedians write books or write like a memoir or whatever, and I felt like this really like it feels like a comedy album. Like it's such a and like your style is such that like I feel like from the beginning we've been like, what do we do with you? Because you do have this like you do have a real talent for joke writing. You have a real talent for puns. You have a real talent for like tweets and like things that are in, but like sometimes it is like a joke that is better read. So I feel like I was really excited when I got the book because I was like, oh shit, this is really like, it is a great joke book, but it's a comedy album. So like how fucking exciting is that, Oh my God, I wish there was like something really naughty up. Like,
No,
I've
just
done it.
my other computer. I'm just trying to get I love comments, but they're covering my face, but I guess that's okay. That's just how it is.
They won't
Like I
cover
said,
it
it's
in
been
the
a while.
replay. They won't cover it in the
Okay.
replay. But
I'm sorry
well,
I'm such a scrub right now.
you're
I
doing great.
apologize.
No, I actually have to look like a dog or else you'd be like, what's wrong with Sarah? And I did like, I wore like, I was like I was like got dressed. I'm like wearing a t-shirt and I was like, put on something
I mean,
like,
I wore my one fun shirt, Sarah.
I tried to wear, I was like, I'll look like a dad. So I put on this like gold chain. I was literally like, what would be perfect?
You need to
I
put
had, like,
some
a
pens
longer-
in your pocket or something with a
Right.
pencil protector.
I was like, what would be a good costume for this? Because like it's
Mhm.
about dads. So we'll talk. So you're gonna do the Moonual next. Yeah. Like, am I a dad? Dog? Like, is this his dad? Like a dog, and this is a dad like look right now.
Definitely.
I got
I mean,
ready
I
for
wouldn't
it.
know, but I have to assume.
Yeah, it's sort of like performance art with these filters, but with the
Mhm.
chain and the sweatshirt and the dog, I feel like I'm screaming suburban dad. Um,
Yeah.
But so your book just came out. Everybody check it out. Follow Sidley Stand Up, and come to the Moonual on the 11th of April, where you will hear some of the jokes. But I'm really if you're not like a fan, if you don't know who Allan is, get on it. Allan wrote a book of jokes about. So is the whole book about growing up dadless? There is daddy issues. So genius. And even from the minute I started, like first page, I was laughing. The foreword, so you.
Oh, I know.
I won't give it away. I won't give it away. I almost put a picture of it in my review, and then I was like, no, Like it's actually like a hard book to share a picture of in the review because like every joke, it's like you don't want to give anything away because like
Right.
I mean, and it's also funny too because I feel like joke books get kind of a bad rap. Like you're like, oh,
Mm.
joke book, and you think it's gonna be like corny or like whatever.
Well, that's why I did it, Sarah. Was
It's
I
so
looked?
smart.
I don't know if there was like a whatever. The whole reason this came to be is I went to like one day, Jill, my wife,
You're
she
like
was
you
in.
didn't read the actual forward. I read the forward and then I read the jokes. I did. There was a midsection I might have
No,
missed.
no, 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 no. This isn't in the book. This is a
Oh, okay,
separate
okay,
thing that's
phew.
going to be posted later. So
Okay,
you're
good. I
doing
thought I was
great.
in
You're
trouble.
doing
I thought I
amazing.
was in trouble. All right.
No, but we were at Tyson's Corner. Jill was picking up makeup at Sephora, and like, what do? Of course, I'm going to just walk into Barnes and Noble and like check out board games, check out books. And there was just one day where I finally like stumbled into the humor section, and I looked at all the joke books, and I was like, these are books like what you have, or you have super established comedians' memoirs that are like probably really funny, or you have jokes written by some, not written by, jokes collected by some schlubby guy who's never been on stage in his life, his or her
100%.
life. And I
Yep.
was like, how is there nobody who's like actually doing the work, being a comedian, putting out a book of their jokes? So then it kind of just all came together after that. I was just like,
No, I
I was
actually think it's
surprised,
so rare.
and I had
Like
the work of,
I
yeah,
can't think of another person who's done that.
yeah.
And you had the work of what? What were you gonna say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, and it's just like the jokes were like most of them were there. They were already existing somewhere in my notes, my Evernotes, my text messages, my emails. Like I had to like basically to get to the book being released, I had to just find all that stuff and then organize it. And yeah,
Dude, that's so awesome. And now, so I didn't finish yet, but is the whole book, so it's called Daddy Issues. Is it all around
no,
like, no, that's just like the kind of setup for it, but it's like just like all just jokes.
yeah, like I have different chapters. I won't give everything away, but like there's a chapter that's like growing up, and then there's like personal health, and then there's like family, holidays, and there's like drugs, and
Dude, this is so exciting. I feel like this is actually the perfect way to like introduce the world to you. Like I really feel like this is the perfect, because like
yeah,
then when people come to see you, I feel like you in context is like very exciting. It's like because you are a joke teller. Like, I remember back in the day we were trying to figure out how to work on your delivery and but it's like when now it's like published author. I don't know. It's
right.
kind of like, who was that guy, that stand-up comedian who got really big only after he started tweeting? What was his name? He's married to, oh fuck, Rob. I'll think of his name, but like it was only after he started tweeting that people were like, "Oh, this guy's funny as shit." And then when they went to his stand-up shows, and that was sort of the essence of his joke telling, people
Yeah.
like loved it because there wasn't like this promise of being some like faux conversationalist. It's like, no, these are my jokes, and so
Yeah.
I think that's like it's even Jess Wilnick's like that. He's just like doing jokes, like it's jokes. So I fucking love it. Oh, what's up, Liz? Meet Allan. He's fabulous. So
Hey, Liz.
he just released a very actually funny joke book, and yeah, I can't think of another thing like it. And I'm really excited for you. So you're gonna be at the Moonual on the 11th. You can read us some of your jokes.
Yeah.
You can do some of your material for us. In the meantime, I thought I would just look up your chart because it's kind of interesting.
Let's do it.
Now I know you want to be on that cusp so bad of Virgo and Libra. I know that means a lot to you. I don't want to hurt you in any way, but I want to say that cusps aren't really a thing. You are, in fact,
That's fine.
you are a Virgo, but it's a beautiful sign. It is about beauty. And your Mars and your Mercury, which is like your masculine and your voice, are at 0 degrees and 6 degrees. Like they're right at the beginning of Libra. So it's not that you're a cusp as much as like you do possess the energy of both Virgo and Libra. And your moon, which is your inner self, it's like your true self, it's what's really going on inside. Your moon is in Gemini. Why is this so exciting? Because as we speak, the like fate of the collective, there's things called nodes in your chart. And so the north node of your chart shows like your life purpose, your fate. And the nodes in the collective are like what we should all be looking at. And like that's where we all want to focus our energy and sort of activate whatever's in our chart there so that we can like kind of move our lives in that direction, and it's going to ultimately serve all of our individual purposes, right? So as we speak, the north node and Mars, so like the fate of the known universe, and Mars, which is like action, aggression, like, you know, a book launch. It's like when you go to do something, right? It's like the masculine energy, are both in Gemini, very close to your moon in Gemini. You have a moon in Gemini. What does a moon in Gemini mean? It means that number one, your heart is with jokes. Gemini is the jokester. Gemini is the comedian. Gemini is duality. So I love even daddy issues being the sort of title and the theme of it is perfect because, you know, moon in Gemini, like if you didn't have a dad around growing up, that moon in Gemini is always looking for duality. So it's all, you know, Gemini is all about doubles, it's pairs, it's twos, it's partners, it's twins, it's mirrors. So for you to like create something in the image of something that maybe wasn't necessarily there is so, it's like a part of your purpose. And your moon is in the 8th house, which is Scorpio, which is about kind of like working with what you've inherited. So like you have inherited daddy issues, and then you actually, for your moon's sake, you produced this book out of the sort of that Gemini need in that transformational inherited house to like actually make something out of what you've been passed down. So it's really like kind of beautiful. The other interesting thing, I mean, a lot of interesting things, and we can get into it more at the Moonual too, but the other really kind of interesting thing about this whole, you know, timing of all this is that your north node, so like the purpose of your iteration on this planet is in Aquarius, which is to broadcast and which is to like really put work out to the media. It's creative genius. It's doing things differently. It's like Aquarius is social distancing. It is the mass communicator. It's technology, right? And for you, it's in the 4th house, which means you're kind of like you're meant to, first of all, broadcast from home. So like that south node, the opposite of the north node, the south node is in Leo. So you're coming from like, it's almost like you're like an old performer from like the old world. And there's a part, which also like makes sense, right? Like you have, your vibe is very like in the 1940s, you would have crushed. You're going to crush now because you're different than everybody now, but you do have kind of like an old comic sensibility.
I'm an old man.
You're an old man. And you so you're like this expert, like for you on some level, this whole like pandemic, you know, not that you wouldn't have written the book without it.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have
But
put
you
it
might
off
not
for
have,
another
right?
couple of years. Like it was, you know, it was something on my to-do list, but until I had the time to really get into it.
Well, and it's so interesting too, because again, like the title being Daddy Issues and doing it, like launching this actually like way bigger project than you ever have from home is so perfectly north node in the 4th house, which is home and family and kind of you're just like, you know, it's like to be able to broadcast your comedy from home is like, that is what you're doing here. And there's something also about your comedy and your work and broadcasting it that actually is, it actually is healing for you on like, it's actually very healing for you to, it's almost, how do I put it? It's almost like, whatever, and I know you did just move, but it's like whatever home you have, like home, whatever, part of what you're creating with this book and then future books and comedy specials and all of it is like you're making a home in your body of work, and you're making like you putting this book out is like actually you sharing your home with us, and it's you actually creating this like sort of, it's like a more mental
I mean, I'm pretty much just giving people my brain for like however long it takes to read this book.
It really is. I don't know if you saw my review, but that was my review, and I'm like, wow, this really is like.
No, it takes like a couple days to show up, unfortunately.
Oh, that's like kind of what I said. I was like, what an interesting peek into Allan's brain. Like this really, it is your brain, and it is so intimate actually. And even though it's jokes, it actually is like you really do get to know you. You know, they always say like, you know, your first do 5 minutes where like we really get to know you or whatever. First of all, the Jews need more than 5. But also just like, you know, that's what this book is. Like, it really is. It, like, if anybody doesn't know Allan and reads this book, you know Allan. Like, it is so, and I know you well, it's so you. It's so perfectly you, and it's actually so funny. And it's like, just, it's something that I don't think a lot of comedians today could do, because I think also we're all kind of now copying this, like, and copying is maybe the wrong word, but there's this sort of emulating. There's this desire to all be Louis or to all be Dave, where it's like we just are up here talking. I know I fucking lean on that, you know, like it's like we're just up here.
You and me are quite opposite, but I also like what you do, Sarah.
Complete opposite, but it's like right, like I could just like I always feel like I'm like the Wheezy of comedy because I'm just like one take, like give me one take, like let me talk. I don't want to write a joke. I want to talk about what's
Hmm.
happening in this moment in this room. Anytime that you've ever even seen me try to just like run my set, I like freeze. I like hate. I don't like it. Like that
Hmm.
to me is so not. That's why even for me this pandemic has been so fun because I'm like, oh great, like I can just fucking every astrology reading. Like now that all my readings are like recorded, all my readings, all my IG live, like everything's fucking open mic. The moon will last for 9 hours because I'm just fucking running my mouth. It's different
Right,
every time.
right.
I got tons of clips. Like for me too, this pandemic has actually been pretty good for comedy because, but I feel like, yeah, most comedians now couldn't like put their jokes in writing and still have it work. Like it's so like
Yeah.
performance emphasized.
Oh,
And
for
so
sure.
this is a real way, I think, for you to just step apart and to showcase your talent. And
Yeah.
I feel like that it's almost like bringing like the old world sensibility into the new world, like doing it in this different way, doing it from home. And I think like even past the pandemic, like who knows what will happen and or when things go back to normal or whatever. But I think for you, this is an interesting. So your North Node is in Aquarius as we speak. This whole year was a huge Aquarian year. On December 21st of last year, there was this, it was called The Great Conjunction. I don't know if you ever saw the Jim Henson movie. It's on Netflix.
Hmm.
It's called the Chris it's what is it called? It's called the Dark Crystal. It's like a puppet movie from the 80s, but it's all about the Great Conjunction, and it happened in December, and it happened at 0 degrees Aquarius, which is right on your IC, which is the beginning of your fourth house and the like base of your spine. It's like the deepest part of your soul. So there was this huge meeting of energy between Saturn, which is like boundaries, rules, restrictions, Jupiter, expansion, growth. So it's basically like asking everybody, but especially you, because it's on this really important point in your chart and kind of beginning the house where your purpose is. It was this meeting of like, can you find freedom with the limitations? Can you work with the new social distancing and boundaries and the new way the world is
Yeah.
working and let it expand your life? And like, so starting in December, there was this shift happening. And so now we have Saturn and Jupiter moving through Aquarius. Well, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth, is like sitting right on top of your North Node. So like your purpose is expanding, right? Like there's this energy of like, yes, like that's the work you're meant to do. And there's this expansion that's happening because you have this product to share at this
Hmm.
absolutely perfect time astrologically. Like eighth house, I know this all doesn't make sense to you because I mean, this isn't like an in-depth reading. We can do that one. It makes sense to you
No,
sometime.
I'm putting some pieces
Does it?
together.
Okay. I
You know,
don't
don't
mean
give
to
me a
go.
pop quiz, Sarah, but
I
like,
will not. I will not. You
you know,
can
you're
rewatch
saying
1,000
base of the
times.
spine. I did yoga. I know those chakra
You're
things.
sure
So
right.
it's
It's a
like
chakra thing.
I'm picking up enough. Also
So,
adjusting my light.
way better, way better. Not a dog yet, but I can see you. Um, but it's like your moon in the eighth house. There's something very eighth house, like I'm an eighth house moon too. Like eighth house moons are the witches. Like eighth
Oh,
house moons, like we
so I'm a
leverage.
wizard or am I a witch?
Well, it's I mean, you could pick. I mean, it could also be a
Sorcerer?
warlock, sorcerer. I love sorcerer. Okay, so you're a sorcerer, and so I feel like you didn't even know what good timing this was for you, but it really like the timing of this is also. It's like you're kind of in this like cradle of expansive energy, and the
Hmm.
last full moon last weekend happened right on your Mercury, which is your voice. And so for now, your voice is in Libra, Mercury is in Libra. So there was kind of this like, okay, here we go. Like I'm about to fucking launch it. And then you
Right.
launched it. And now here we are, moving into the
Yeah.
next part of the cycle. And the next new moon where you're going to be doing, so you're going to do the moonule. And the next new moon is like right on your, it's in your sixth house, but it's on your descendant. So it's basically in the house that starts your relationships with others and your business partnerships and so it's kind of like you're basically like the full moon and this kind of week and 2 weeks is like I'm reintroducing myself. I'm showing you my purpose. This is really
Right.
who I am.
Yeah,
And
like
then, go ahead.
so I was gonna say like I think something that what you're saying is triggering in my mind, something that I feel like what this book and this project was that really is a piece of my personality, which is the fact that like I do enjoy the whole like being a recluse and working on the stuff by myself. I don't want to show it to anybody. And then I want to come out of the shadows and be like, this is the thing I did.
Yep.
Everybody be
Well,
aware of what I've done. you know?
Yeah, I could not agree more. And I don't think it's that you're a recluse as much as that you're actually your Virgo is at 27. Your sun is at 27 degrees Virgo.
No, I'm just saying I do like being away from people, but then I also like showing the body of
Well,
work.
it's because your Virgo is 27-degree Virgo sun in the 11th house, which is the Aquarius house. You're low key a perfectionist. So like this is
Not
actually
low-key, Sarah.
you're okay. I just want to out you. I don't want to out you too much. But it's like you really like it's not that you're like a recluse as much as you're like this is my craft. And like it's like if you were like look at my garden, but it was like the middle of winter and everyone would be like I think it's just dirt. You know, it's like kind of not like you're like, no, the flowers are going to grow. Don't come over until there are flowers and I can show you my garden.
Or I'm like inside my greenhouse that's like covered and nobody can see what I'm doing in there. And they're like, what's Allan doing in there? And they hear like all my tools and digging.
Totally.
Like, check out my garden.
And it's like low key, who knows? Like you're pumping those flowers with steroids, but like we don't need to know. But it's like either way, like whatever you're doing it's not for. You're not here to like necessarily show the work. You're here to be the like embodiment of the product of that work. It's kind of like, you know, Virgo is the harvest. Virgo is the like it's like you planted all the seeds before you got things going, and then Virgo is when you're like, let me reap my crops, let me reap what I've sown, let me like really. So that's really what this book is, and that really is like your sun is really. It is in the public sphere. Like you have a very famous sun, 11th house suns. They always are famous. They get famous. Blah. They always get famous. I'm jealous of your sun. They always get famous. They always get known. They're really good at connecting to groups. And the fact that your sun and your Mars are in the 11th house, which is the Aquarius house, and your North Node is in Aquarius, and this whole year is about this like Aquarian age kind of beginning, and like it really is like this is your moment, and it's such a great time to actually present the work that you've harvested, because it really is just the beginning. It's like everything you've done before. I really feel like it is the year 1 AC after Corona. Like
it's the Avengers. Everything we've been doing is to build up to this moment.
Yeah, like it's like and it's like the slate is clean because now we get that there's like an other story. It's like whatever judgments we were saying this before we were talking a few weeks ago. It's like whatever judgments we've had of ourselves or whatever like comparisons we've been doing to others, or just like looking, going, do I stack up, or what do I do with myself? Because it's challenging when you're trying to like fit yourself into this box of this like certain social structure that exists. But what the Aquarian conjunction started is basically like the changing of the times of like into a whole new era of communicating and thinking, and the way that we social, like even if everyone's vaccinated and things go quote unquote back to normal, we're never going to go back to normal. This is like a totally, everything will be new. We will be stepping out into the world as completely transformed beings. And it's, it is Avengers. It's like everything that you had judgments about or felt, I mean, I'm talking about myself here, but it's like inadequate or judgmental or whatever. It's like, no. Now
we had a year to not have those comparisons to other people constantly. So it was like they just kind of went away.
They just went away. Like, how interesting.
It's kind of humanizing, I think.
Deeply. And the fact that everyone's traumatized is like so great. It's like we don't have to like, some people can, nobody's above being traumatized now. We're all traumatized. Everyone has permission to be traumatized. Trauma is with a capital T for everybody. So I just feel like there were so many, like just comparisons and all these like social games that we had to play in order to like be ourselves.
Can't have social games if you don't socialize.
Can't have it. Can't have it. Don't want it. Take me out the game. Because it's so much easier to like hear yourself and be yourself and love yourself when it's actually just like you or your girlfriend or you and your fiance, wife. I think, are you married? You're married.
Wife. Now. Yeah.
Wife. Yeah. Major. Way different than before coronavirus. So that's awesome. We got to do your charts together. I would love to do we can do a relationship reading sometime.
So fun fact, she's in Aries. My mom's in Aries, and my uncle's in Aries. So we got a lot of Arieses that I got to deal with.
Your descendant is in Aries, and this new moon is in Aries. So invite them all to the Moonual. You do relationships like descendant is your relationship house. Like you were going to marry in Aries. It's in your chart.
Okay, so it's not because I have mommy issues, because I only have room for one of those.
You actually don't really have mommy issues. What you have, and just like according to the chart, what you have is actually you have daddy issues.
Yeah, yeah,
And
no, I know
I mean, it's
that was
yeah,
the
like
joke.
yeah, you don't like, but even like I'm looking at astrologically now, and I'm like, what is the actual story? And it's like what it is like you inherited one half of like it's like your mom actually is almost like why, because your moon also represents your relationship with your mother. So for
Mm,
you, the Gemini, not only have you been a partner for your mother a lot of your life, so got you in that Aries, you're not, you don't want to fuck your mom, but you're used to being with Aries women and handling the
exactly,
Aries.
same.
Aries women are not for the faint of heart. I mean, Aries women are, oh, what's up, Molly? No, Aries women are, you got to be a confident man to be with an Aries woman, because Aries women don't give a fuck about your feelings. I mean, they do hypothetically care. Jill seems lovely. Your mother seems lovely, but they're very like, I need this. But what your mother has kind of like trained you to do is like not take it personally when someone else has a need. You kind of, because your moon's in Gemini in the 8th house, you're meeting that need or the
Mm,
absence of something that was there karmically or like generationally, like there was an inherited absence that you had to meet and then you became this partner for. But also like the expression of this is so, I think it's going to make a big difference in your bank account. And I don't think you have mommy issues, but I do think that you are here to transform relationships for your like family karmic
oh,
line in a
yeah,
big way.
100%. I am
That's like
just,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing here.
Hmm.
It's almost like daddy issues. Like, no, North Node in the 4th house. It's like, no, daddy's home. And even if he's a famous comedian, he's working from home. Your daddy wasn't there. You're going to fucking be there. Like, you're figuring out
Hmm.
how to be that daddy, like, and be a present husband, partner, lover. You have something. It's interesting in the 1st house, which is the house that represents like your identity and how you see yourself and how people see you. It's like you're a Libra rising, so it's very like I do jokes. I'm really like easy
Hmm.
to get along with. I make nice, but then it switches quickly into Scorpio, and then you have your Venus, which is like your goddess, your divine lover, your divine moneymaker. It's
The
the
passion,
feminine,
yeah, yeah.
the passion, the beauty. I know you love beauty. The
Hmm.
beauty part of you is is conjunct the planet Pluto, which is like, no, the beard's gorgeous. You're trimming, excellent. But
Hilarious, Sarah.
I know the filters are the best scene partner I ever fucking had. I'm never doing comedy. I'm never leaving the house. But it's like, for you with Venus and Pluto conjunct in your 1st house, Pluto is like death and resurrection.
Mm,
It's totally transformational. So for you, like you are totally like
yeah,
doing
yeah.
relationships in a way more deep, and Scorpio is the sign of like deep
So, yeah,
intimacy
yeah.
and
So,
bondedness and transformation. It's like you're meant to be like a good partner actually.
yeah. So, like, speaking of death and resurrection, this like past weekend, we did have like the family over for Passover for like the first time,
The
and
timing.
also my grandma, I don't know if you saw I posted, but she like passed in like November, and
Oh.
I like emceed a memorial service at our house, and it was like a really like it was like a one of the more like wholesome, beautiful things that I've done. Like, but it, without the confidence of like doing comedy and like having that awareness and that like desire to like build relationships and like improve stuff for my family and like see those needs and wanting those needs to be met, like that wanted to happen. But instead we had like a really nice like, oh, we're gonna memorialize Marilyn at like 3 p.m. and then matzo ball soup at 5 p.m.
Dude, first of all, invite me to the next funeral. I'm fucking in. That is like my
We made
dream day.
brisket. I learned that I make amazing brisket and matzo ball soup this past weekend. Yeah.
No, your dream wife status. Like that's the thing. Like your chart is, Virgo. I don't, Virgo is a feminine sign. Scorpio is a feminine sign. You do have a strong maternal vibe, and you do
Oh, for
have
sure.
and I think one of the things about your chart that is really hopeful for like the men, for the people to see, to witness, you're a great example, because it's like you can do, Scorpio is interesting energy. Sometimes Scorpio energy can be really like controlling or
Hmm.
take things personal, be vindictive,
Manipulative.
manipulative, vindictive. Oh, you love astrology. Okay, welcome to the voodoo world.
I dabbled back in the day. I'm a little rusty.
We'll get back into it because it's really fun, and like your chart is really excellent. I mean, but I mean, okay, if you know, well, I don't want to get into it, but you do have a yod. So you do have, there's something called a yod in astrology that's a finger of God. And it's a very
Should I
serious
be worried?
aspect. No, you should not be worried, but you should know that it's like a mission. You're here like, it shows kind of like where you're like, it's not your life's purpose, but it's like there's a mission to be worked out in this specific area. So for you, between your moon, which is like your inner self, in the eighth house, which is like working with what you've inherited, working with partnership, working with like really being there for family and being there for, for the people that you love, this yod is pointing one finger over to your Venus-Pluto conjunction going, okay, so transform in the area of like deep intimacy and actual love and bonding. It's like almost like bonding that doesn't hurt. Like help your family not be afraid of bonding. Help your family not be afraid of like your family can need your help and you don't make them feel bad about it. And you don't actually like feel like poo-poo, or you don't feel like it's a personal attack that's why you can work with Aries energy, because you know that when someone needs something, it's not like a personal attack from you, or if someone's ignoring your needs, or someone's not, you can really see. Gemini moons can always see the other side of something, and so instead of like flipping out or running away or taking things personally, you can go, okay, wait a second, let me think about their point of view, and then actually be that partner for them. But then the other piece of it is that the other finger of God in the yod is like pointed directly at your basically it's like right at your Vesta and your Saturn. I don't know how much you know, but your Saturn return has finally ended. Congrats, you went through it. But your Saturn is in Capricorn in the third house, which is daddy energy. So you're basically using your words to, it's like your moon has two things to do. It's like on the one hand, you need to be the divine goddess, and you need to be the partner, the loving, caring, feminine, I'm here for you energy that the goddess provides. And then you're also here to go, and using my words and my intellect, I'm going to build a future, and I'm going to build a new way of doing like the rules in our family. I'm going to, the third house is like early education, it's childhood, it's understanding kind of like the world around you. So you're really here to like provide new structure to your family's karma, by way of both being the like mommy and daddy for all of these selfish fucking areas that you're surrounded by.
No, my wife is not selfish, but everybody else,
No.
yeah, we can give
She's
it.
so beautiful. I remember when I first met Jill, I was like, no shot. No, I didn't think that really. I actually thought she was perfect for you. But I think she's stunning. Like she's so elegant and earthy. Do we know what her moon sign is?
I know her birthday. 4/4.
Okay, I love that. First of all, spirit numbers. I mean, we could look it up real fast, but here, actually, yeah, let me look. 4/4 what? Let's just see.
86.
Okay, I'm just curious.
She's an old fart. Unlike me.
I'm 86, you fucking asshole. The fuck? Okay, wait, let me just see. Let's just see real quick. You don't know what time she was born, but okay, so she's
Hey, Jill! No,
I can tell it. She's an Aquarius moon.
Huh.
Get her exact time after so we can confirm. But actually, according to this, wow, romance off the bat.
Message her on the computer.
No, get her time, because I'm pretty sure that her moon is almost exactly conjunct your north node. Desi says, hell yeah, in the comments. I love when things work out. My whole set is falling apart. LOL. No, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. That is so cool. Yeah, you got to get her time, because it's like, yeah, if she's an Aries sun, Aquarius moon, then she's actually kind of just like a warrior for the people. So she is
I'm
an
keeping
Aries.
an eye on it there. We'll see if she responds.
If what you're telling me is true, and I believe that it is, why would you lie about her birthday on live? It's just so stupid. But
that'd be really messed up.
That would just be.
That would ruin my career.
It'd be a bad joke. I'll tell you that. That's a bad. We want good jokes.
12:15 a.m.
Okay, wait. Let me just see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm so curious because hold on. 12:15 a.m. Okay, so beautiful Jill. Wow, this is so interesting. Okay, so her north node. I mean, your moon is. Hold on. Blah blah blah. Her moon. So her inner self, her sense of safety, her like real true what's going on inside is exactly conjunct your north node, like the purpose of your life. It's also where your home is. It's also where you, so like you even like launching this book, like she is going to encourage your you just being near her encourages you living your purpose in like every way. She is like the partner that cracked you open enough to be like, okay, yeah, I could do. Aquarian moons, on the one hand, they can be a little bit like, sometimes she might not text you back right away, annoying, or sometimes she might, get into her. Aquarian moons can be like, I did get back to you, and you'll be like, no, you didn't, and then you could be like, she'll be like, telepathically, and you'll be like, oh, like they use Aquarian moons think that thinking counts as communicating. Aquarian moons have big vision, they have big ideas, they're a little bit emotionally detached from like the drama, which is exactly what you need.
She's the most stable person I've met in my entire life.
She's super fucking stable, like she really is, like, and I don't know what she does for a living, but like when I look at her chart, it's like, oh, she's really like a warrior for the people. And it's interesting too, her north node, so her purpose is in Taurus with her Venus, so you're both doing, it's kind of like, how do I put it, you're both doing the same work but from different views, which is basically just to make like home safe and like make spaces where the heart is safe and make spaces where everybody feels complete and whole exactly as they are. She's doing it more by way of like, or her life's work is to do it more by way of like focusing on actual physical, like creating spaces or creating, like with sensuality, with touch, with food, with she's meant to do it in a more physical way, because actually her chart is very air and fire, whereas you're very physical off the bat, so you're meant to learn to do it in a more mental air way. So you really bring out the physical goddess in her that isn't necessarily her more like she can default to Ideaville and like passion all the time, but for her to actually like build something and be the teacher and be the like creator of new belief systems and be the person that works on the ground for the people is really what it's like taking it out of Ideaville and moving it into like, no, make something,
Actionville.
do some Actionville. And you're like, I could just be in the garden all day hoeing flowers. But it's like, no, Allan, like think bigger, like make it bigger, like think of it, like let it she's like broaden your perspective, babe. And you're like, okay, I'll do a joke book. It's like, there's something about both of your presences in each other's lives that gets the other one to actually do what they're here to learn to do, which is not always natural for us. And she's here to learn to make shit on earth, and you're here to learn to broadcast ideas to the masses. And so like, what a beautiful, I mean, I'll have to get more into it like later because we could dig right in, but great relationship for you. I mean, your purposes are extremely aligned. And I think the timing is really beautiful for you because, again, like I said, there's Jupiter sitting right now on her moon and your north node. So even for both of you right now, there's this like expansive, like loving energy in the space where it's like, wow, the more you connect to other people and the more you put yourself out there, somehow the more safe and at home you both feel. Like you daddy issues, like, it's ironic because you just launching this book right now, like you just turned into daddy actually. So it's like, damn, Allan, like what a beautifully healing. You went from daddy.
Baby.
No, that's you had a baby and you're the daddy of that book now.
No, my
like,
baby is Selena the cat, but she's not in the room right now. Otherwise I'd show her off and she would melt your heart.
You have 2 kids.
Yeah.
You have 2 kids. You don't have to pick a favorite. One is an animal. One is, this is a modern age. You can have a lot of different.
One is a tree.
I mean, that's major. That baby has outlived you already, I mean, there's so much special, that's the age of Aquarius. It's fucking magical things, occurring. And please, cats do really well on Zoom, so feel free to have her in the room. And, Selene is the moon goddess. Do you know that?
I did not know that. Do you want to know Selena has a couple of joke names why she's called Selena?
Yes.
Do you want to know the couple of ones? So one was when we adopted her adopted name was Hillary. But we wanted to give her a name of a female president that was actually elected. So we did like Selena Meyer from Beat. Call her Selena Meower sometimes. That one's a bit of a stretch.
Wait, but you would actually, it was Hillary. You were like, well, I don't want a cat that's not a winner.
I don't want a cat who ran for president and lost. Right, exactly.
That's so
and Beep
awesome.
is like one of my top 5 TV shows.
You're like, we'd rather have it be Julia Louis-Dreyfus president. Okay, so she's actually Selena Meowers, which I think is, I think that's a good taste of your book right there.
Okay, so that's one.
I love that.
Okay, the second one, I think Selena Kyle is Catwoman. Yeah, too easy. And then the third one, this is my favorite one.
Writes itself.
Fan of I'm just pitching my book at this point. She's a
Please
huge
do.
fan of the New York baseball team. So her other name is Selena Gomez.
Oh, wow, but that's kind of like a double because it's like the
Yeah,
Mets, but then it's also,
Gomez. Yeah, yeah.
oh my, but actually,
That's why it's a pun, Sarah, because that's the whole point.
I actually forgot what puns were until this moment. I was like, you should fucking do something. I love a double entendre. Wow, no, I forgot puns. No, that's why we need to talk more, Alan, because I just, for my whole pun brain, just like, I literally am like, wow, that's a funny twist. And it's like, no, that's like the joke, you fucking idiot. Oh, yeah. Sometimes people will be like, the throwaway lines in your act are actually the best. And it's like, those are my punchlines.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just delivering them. I was trying to get that ears to do it again.
I do
Anyway.
like when your ears pop. It's my favorite part of this.
Isn't it kind of fun? I do feel it's punctuating. It's like, like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
cat's
yeah.
name is
You
what?
should do that when you're confused, actually. If you don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, there you go.
The service is bad. Can you? Yeah, no, that's good. I'm really excited that you're going to do the Moonual, and we can do like a real reading sometime too. But yeah, I really feel like this is the start of something big. You're super fucking aligned. You didn't even know because you are a sorcerer, but you're not like necessarily the most conscious sorcerer. You're more of a conscious writer, producer, author, comedian. But even without trying, you picked a perfect time to launch this book. I think this is going to be the start of something big, no pressure, but
I hope so too. No, trust me, the ideas where this could potentially take me is pretty big.
We
Pretty
gotta
good
talk.
possibilities. So
I'm so excited. Yeah, we gotta talk more about it because, like, really, like, everything that happened before this point was just like getting you ready for this, and now your life can begin.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, cool. Well, I gotta go. I have a client in 10. Everybody pick
Cool.
up Allan's book. Go to Amazon.com. Or that's for everywhere to take, right? Amazon.com. Search Daddy Issues. Follow Allan on.
I wish this was mirrored better. Maybe I could do this real quick. You can keep talking, Sarah.
So follow Allan at Sidley Stand Up. He's so fucking funny.
This
Come
is
to
the
the
title.
Manual.
Daddy
It's
Issues.
so gorgeous.
Fatherless Comedians Original Jokes.
Who designed the cover? I love it.
A Fiverr person.
Cool. You know what? What a good case for Fiverr. We're about to get sponsored. That's fucking huge. $5 to get a fucking cover for your national bestseller. That's fucking dope. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think that is.
No, it wasn't $5. I went a little bit of the creme de la creme.
Hey, you know what? When you pay more than $5, it's like sometimes at Five Below, I'm like, let me pay 10. They're like,
Yeah.
No, I think that's great.
Things are going well for me. I think I'm going to get a $10 thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a good week.
Well, that's so great. I'm so glad the app exists for you to to penny pinch in the most important thing.
Well,
no,
I had
$40.
No. I mean, like, it's that whole thing, right? We'll talk about it more, but it's like I had a designer in mind. She's the one that made my face. Like, this thing isn't a new thing. This is like the old image, just colored. She disappeared off the earth. Hopefully, she's doing okay. But I wanted her to do the book, and then you gotta pivot. If someone can't do your book cover, you gotta find someone else. So
we also gotta find her.
Yeah, I mean, well, I
as
just
long
hope
as
she's okay.
I hope she's okay. Maybe text me after her name. We could do a little Google search. I hate to hear that people have disappeared and that no one's doing an online campaign for them. So we can start posting photos on the Snap and the Gram soon if she is to be found. But
Okay.
We hope you're okay wherever you are, or that you've at least been buried with your supplies and you're drawing up in heaven. LOL, we have no idea. But either way, Fiverr did the job, so we don't really need you anyway.
Yeah, all right.
Damn, I hope she's not dead, but otherwise, great talk. And to be
yeah.
continued. I'll see you at the Moonual on the 11th. I'll send you a link. It's donation based, so invite everyone you know. They can come free. They can pay.
And what's the time?
It starts at 6. It goes
perfect.
extremely long, but I can put you wherever you want to go. So yeah, I'm really excited though. I'm really glad you're coming, and I'll see you there. And to be continued.
All right, sounds great. Thanks so much.
Congratulations. So fun.
You.
And everybody go get Allan's book and tell Jill I say hi, and we've got to look at the charts more in depth. I cannot
definitely.
wait. But just let her know, confirmed astrologically, you're made for each other.
Yay.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.